Okay, so what we're about to get into right now is the actual detective's testimony about Charleston White taking them to get the gun.
Excuse me, correction. Telling he didn't take him anywhere. He was in the police car, and he took the detective, the patrol car that arrested him, and Antoine Doolittle had them in the car when him and Detective Lanier came. He's a juvenile detective. He knew them prior to this, so what he did, he went to Charleston White. And Charleston White told him to go back to the apartment that the police arrested it in, and that the gun was on the roof.
Okay, got you. This item here, somewhat in the center right on the photo, what is that? And so his answer is, that is the piece of dark colored cloth that turned out to be a shirt. Question, okay, is the weapon right next to that? His answer was, yes, ma'am, it is. Is that how you saw it once you climbed up on the roof? Answer, yes, ma'am. Question, show this part of the jury where Gina's door is. Answer, right there. And that is leading to the particular residence. Question, that is the same door you used to come out on the patio. Answer, yes, ma'am. What is this dark colored item here? Answer, that is the dark colored piece of cloth that I observed that turned out to be a shirt. Question, what is next to it? Answer, handgun. Question, and that's how you observed it? Answer, yes, ma'am. Question, is it on here where you climbed up on the roof? Answer, yes, ma'am. This is the fence that I climbed up on top of, and it had a flat surface, so I was able to walk down. Question, does that look like a weapon that you saw up there on the roof depicted in State's Exhibit 18? Answer, yes, ma'am, it does. Miss Jones, Your Honor, I don't know what that is. I will pass the witness. Question, Detective Parker. Yes, sir. You said you were called to assist Detective Lanier in this investigation. Yes, sir. So it's safe to say that the detective Tom Lanier was in charge of this investigation. Okay. The next part of this is from the same detective.
Detective Parker.
Parker, direct, yes. Detective Parker. Question, Detective, did you make contact with Charleston White at any time? Answer, yes, ma'am, I did. Question, and what did you, after talking with Charleston White, what did you do next? Answer, we went to a location where the reported weapon that was used in the offense was supposed to have been discarded. Question, where was that location? Answer, on the roof of the apartments at the Wood Hollow townhomes. Question, okay, did you walk over to that apartment and knock on the door, or what did you do? Answer, we knocked on the door and was greeted by a lady that was identified as first name only was Gina. Okay. Question, I saw, as I walked out onto the apartment patio, I was scanning the roof line where information was that the weapon may have been up on the roof. Then it says, Mr. Mackey. Objection, Judge. The information again is hearsay.
So going back, and when we talk about that, after his contact with Charleston White, the only person that he talked to, he went to the murder weapon. So to get the clarity, the only one that could have told him about the murder weapon is somebody that knew where it was.
Right.
So to take any gray area out that Charleston White didn't tell this detective in the car that Antoine Doolittle did the killing and the gun was in that patio at that apartment.
Right, okay.
So for basic clarification for any nitwit that feels like that, oh, well, he didn't say that Charleston White took him to the weapon. No, he didn't. He told him where it was.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's basically what he testifies to, that he went and got the gun. And then Lanier came with him. Well, he went and saw the gun, Detective Parker. When the investigating detective Lanier came with him and assisted him, they went on and they retrieved the gun. The black clothing, the black shirt was a shirt that belonged to Charleston White.
Okay, right. Right here it says, question. Okay, did you see anything else up on the roof at that time? Answer. When I saw the clump of cloth, I walked to the top of the roof line where the clump of cloth was, and I saw the partial exposure of a handgun. Question. Okay, what did you do next? Answer. I told Detective Lenore, who was still at the location, what I had seen and requested crime scene.
So what it means by crime scene, this was an investigation, and he cut the apartment off as a crime scene. What he said that he seen the weapon, that's the police bullshit. He seen the shirt, and to make it legally, he didn't have a warrant. So what he did, he made it a crime scene, and he already knew that Charleston White had told him the gun was wrapped up in the jacket.
Gotcha. Okay.
That's the real. What the paperwork is that he's seen it, it was in plain sight, but no, it wasn't.
Okay.
Now you got Charleston White's direct testimony.
Okay. Okay, so basically what happens here is the cops come to him, to Charleston White, and he just immediately starts cooperating?
Immediately.
Okay.
His testimony and all his film is that first we lied and then we all told the truth. No, we all didn't tell the truth. You told your version of the truth.
Okay.
And the only one they got out of it, scot-free, if you call scot-free, he just got association, aiding and abetting in a crime. And because it was Texas, he was in juvenile. He never went to prison. He was in a facility with coeducational facilities, which he never took advantage of. He was being punked in the facility he was in. And he testified against Antoine Doolittle because after Antoine Jackson, he took a deal for 99 years at 16. I can't say what Antoine Doolittle, what he was thinking, but my assumption is once he seen that his two crime partners had already taken a deal, he was going to go to trial because they'd already accepted a murder. Antoine Jackson didn't come to court. Dwayne Jackson was already dead. The only one that came to court against him as the prime witness, the only one that could testify to what actually happened was Charleston White. So Charleston White wasn't 14 anymore. When he came and testified against Antoine Doolittle, he was 17 years old. And he knew full well what he was doing. So he's not just a snitch, he's a rat.
So between 1991, and this is coming from Antoine Doolittle mouth, who I talked to from prison, as well as his brother Luther. The timelines go after the arrest. They had them all incarcerated in juvenile hall from 1991 to about from September 18th, 1991 to around December. And they took 3 of the defendants and took them to a certification hearing, which is basically where they would be tried as adults. But during that period, Charleston White never went to be tried as adult, to be certified. So starting in 1992, all the other 3 defendants were segregated from Charleston White until 1993 when he returned to court. But prior to that, when they were in juvenile hall, all 4 of them had made agreements to take the 5th. But all the time, Charleston White had made an agreement with state prosecutors to become a material witness. So he was basically being held without charges because they didn't charge Charleston White till after his testimony secured that these young men, one would take, like Ayatollah Marvin said, one took a deal for 99 years. The gunman was facing capital punishment. He ended up getting found guilty, and he took 75 years. And Charleston was sentenced to the juvenile facilities to do his time. So when we hear Charleston White talk about they huddled up, they came together, and they felt sorry for me, and they stopped me from going to prison, he never was in danger of ever going to prison. Also, as we said earlier, which we look at the statement, Charleston White's been telling everybody on social media, I killed a white man at schools, I killed a white man. But when you look at his direct testimony, he clearly points to, in fact, he states, they asked, do you see the shooter in the courtroom? And he said, yes, the man in the gray suit. And then they asked him, what did he have on back when it first happened? They say Levi's and this. And he didn't say, Charleston White, I'm the one that did it. Charleston White said, Antoine Doolittle is the gunman. And he placed the gun in Antoine Doolittle's hand. And it was his direct testimony and eyewitness account that accounted for this man getting a 75-year sentence.
So he part of his deal was that he got to be tried as a
Juvenile.
A juvenile.
You don't go to trial. It's a ward of the court. It's a hearing, a commission hearing. So he was allowed to go to juvenile facility, which at the age of 21, you get out at the numbers, 14 when he went in, 21 when he got out. That's the max you can do. So when he made his agreement, based upon the testimony that he gave to be sworn and true, that's what indicated his sentence. So he never was facing a prison sentence at all. Never was leaving the juvenile facility.
Okay, so what we're going to be getting into next is Charleston White's actual testimony.
Charleston White's direct testimony.
Okay.
His direct testimony.
From when he was on the stand and when he took the stand and he snitched on everybody. And I think the first part we're going to get into is his actual deal.
Okay.
Because he was offered a deal in exchange for, I believe, for his testimony and his cooperation.
2 years before that.
2 years before that.
Yes. So let's get into Charleston White, the actor, and then you can get into the real Charleston White.